Welcome. My name is Adam, newly graduated from yoga teacher training. I went to Bali for several weeks and I am here to pass along what I've learned. I'm looking forward to teaching a class of my own here shortly and want to gain some practice. Would love some feedback. And so today we'll show you my very first ever teaching to you. And I'm going to start with some warm-ups, get you a little limber, feeling nice and comfortable. And then after that, we'll do a few sequences. Start with Sun Salutation A a few times, go to B a couple times, and then from there, I'm just going to do a couple poses. We'll just work our way through. And then after that, once we get down on the mat, we'll go into Savasana. We'll do that for about 10 minutes of a guided meditation. So I look forward to getting your comments, seeing what you think so that I could progress and better myself, so that I could teach a better class for you in these upcoming videos. So we're going to start today doing some warm-up. So have a seat. If you are comfortable, we're going to get into a position, seated position, knees on the ground if possible. But whatever, for the whole class, whatever is comfortable for you is the correct position. We're not looking for pain, we're looking for comfort, to relax, to just be the best that we can be. We don't compare ourselves to others in this class, we just compare ourselves to ourselves. And that way we can just learn to grow and have a wonderful time doing it. So we are going to start with a little bit of stretching out. So we're going to start with our hands. So with your right hand, you're going to pull your fingers towards you. And whenever possible, I'd like you to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Switch to the other hand. And exhale. We'll be doing a lot of different postures. Even when we're doing something like tabletop, you'll be on your hands using your wrists. So it's just good to have a little bit of warm up before. For many of us, this could be our first yoga of the day. I did have the chance to do some earlier today, but this will be my first ever recorded. So very much looking forward to this. Okay, rotate the wrists around. Some cracks. Hear yourself getting ready. Okay, stretch those fingers tight and release. Okay, do some head rolls. Remember, you want to go at your own speed. What's comfortable for you and what's comfortable for me might be very different. We all have our own flexibilities, our own restrictions, and mainly it's important to make sure you listen to your own body. So everybody, let's go into tabletop. You want to have your hips over your knees, your shoulders over your wrists, and we're going to practice a few cat-cows. And whenever you do cow, you're going to inhale because you raise your head up, pushing your chest out. And exhale, rounding your back slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, looking down at the navel. Inhale as you come back up into cow. And really elongate as you come up, going into cat. We'll do a couple more rounds. Inhale. And exhale. A good rule of thumb is whenever you're looking up or going in an up position, that is when you're going to inhale. And of course, vice versa. When you're looking down, going into a down position, normally that's when you're going to exhale. Okay, now we're going to come into tabletop again, flat back. Lift up your right hand and lift up your left foot. This is also called a pointer dog, different names. Really stretch out. Try to get your fingertips and your toes as far away as possible. Inhaling as we go up, and exhaling as we go down. Let's do another round. Inhale as we go up, and exhale. We're going to take it nice and easy today, just very easy. Going to come up off of our knees a little bit, really stretch the feet slightly, just coming up a couple inches. Stay here for a couple breaths. Keep the core engaged. And down. Let's do that one more time. Back up. And down. Okay. So now let's begin a couple sequences. We'll come back up. Stand at the front of your mat. We're going to get into Namaste, feet together. Back of your feet can be a finger width apart. Hands down by your side, palms inward, shoulders away from your ears, looking straight. And then we're going to inhale as we rise our hands all the way to the ceiling, looking up. And exhale as we forward fold into Uttanasana. Inhale as we come halfway up. And exhale as we jump or step to the back of our mat into Chaturanga Dandasana. Slowly lowering ourselves down. And then inhale as we come up into upward facing dog. Really try to keep the shoulders over the wrists. And if you can, keep your knees off of the mat. Of course, there's different options. You can always keep your knees down if this is more comfortable, or if maybe this is the first upward dog of the day. And then exhale as we fold the feet, roll over the toes, looking at your navel. And especially if this is your first one, it's good to take your time in this downward dog. Downward dog's a nice rest pose when doing yoga. So pedal out the feet if that feels comfortable. Move a little bit side to side, really limbering up. We'll stay here for a couple more breaths. Really work on keeping your feet about shoulder width apart. Same with the hands. Excellent. Now, slightly bend the knees. Put the shoulders over the elbows, and then jump or step to the front of your mat into halfway lift, and exhale to forward fold. Then inhale as you rise up, and then exhale back into Samasthiti. Now we're going to repeat this again, but we'll do it in a faster motion. So we're going to rise our hands up, and then exhale as we come into forward fold. Halfway up. Exhale, jump or step to the back of your mat. Lower down into Chaturanga Dandasana. We're going to come up into upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. And then we're going to roll over the toes and come back into downward facing dog. If this is ever uncomfortable in any way, you can always adjust how close your hands are to your feet, or you can also bend the knees, because again, your comfort is paramount here. There is no need to overdo it. Pain is never the outcome we are looking for. Full inhale through the nose, and exhale through the nose. Inhale. And exhale. One more full breath in and out. And exhale. We're going to look forward, bending our knees, leaning slightly forward, jump or float to the top of your mat. And then we're going to come up into halfway lift, forward fold, rise up, and then down into Samasthiti. We'll do that again, even quicker. And go up all the way, looking at the fingertips. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Then we're going to exhale to jump or step to the back of your mat. Lower down slowly into Chaturanga Dandasana. And we're going to go into upward facing dog. And into downward facing dog. Stay here for 5 breaths. It's good to think about your intentions throughout the practice. Downward dog's a good place for this as well. Focus on what you're looking for today through the practice, and also what you want for the rest of the day. Looking for serenity, acceptance, or just being the best you can be. 2 more breaths, 1 more in. And exhale. 1 more. And exhale. Again, bend your knees, slightly lean forward, jump, or float to the front. And now we're going to forward fold. And we're going to come up. And then back down. Now we're going to go into B. So we're going to go into Utkatasana, which is the chair pose. So we're starting in Samastiti, then going to go up into chair pose, keeping your knees over your toes. Make sure you can see your toes as you look down. Bend down as much as is comfortable for you. We'll be doing this twice, so you'll get more chance in a little bit. And then you're going to forward fold. You're going to come back up, and then you're going to jump, step back to your mat, Chaturanga Dandasana. Now here, this is where it's going to change. So you go to upward dog, and then you're going to roll on the toes, go into downward dog, but immediately you're going to turn your left foot sideways to the mat, and put your right foot directly between your hands. Come up into Warrior A. Warrior A, try to keep your right knee over your ankle, looking up towards your fingertips. Always try to be looking at a body part. In this case, it's our lovely little fingers. And you're going to be then coming down, putting your hands back down on both sides of the right foot, stepping to the back, down to Chaturanga, up into upward facing dog, and exhale as you come back into downward facing dog. Now we continue on the other side. So we turn the right foot, inhale as we rise up with our left foot, front of the mat. Again, Warrior A. You're going to keep your hips facing forward, chest facing forward, eyes gazing up. Excellent job. And you're going to place your hands on both sides of the left foot, come down, Chaturanga, up into upward facing dog, and then exhale as we go into downward facing dog. Now we repeat where we stay here for 5 breaths. Inhale fully through the nose, and exhale. You want to be pushing your chest out, and exhale. 3 more breaths. By now you probably feel a little bit more limber. Perhaps the back of your feet are now on the mat, trying to keep your legs straight. But again, where you are, flexibility-wise, is just where you should be. 1 more breath in, and exhale. So we're going to lean forward, bending the knees, jump or step to the front, and forward fold all the way down, exhale. And then you're going to come up into chair pose. Again, you should be able to see your feet, your toes as you look down. Keeping the arms straight, looking up towards the fingers. And then exhale as you come forward fold. Halfway up. And then down as you jump. Step to the back of your mat, lowering down. Coming up into upward facing dog. And you're going to roll the toes. And you're going to quickly turn your left foot sideways on the mat and jump your right foot to the front between your hands. Come up into Warrior A. Make sure you keep your hips and your chest forward. And you're going to come back down. Exhale as you go down into Chaturanga, Dandasana. And you're in upward facing dog, inhaling when you come up. And then exhale as you come into downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Now you're going to turn the right foot, left foot to the front of your mat. Rise your fingertips up to the sky to Warrior A. And then come back down, hands firmly on the mat. Lower yourself slowly. Inhale as you come up into upward facing dog. Then roll your toes. Come into downward facing dog. Again, 5 more breaths here. Now for my first class, if you will, air quotes there, I purposely decided not to have a full sequence following this, just going to go over a few poses. I want to just kind of go over some of the basic poses, and then we'll be going into eventually into of guided meditation. Before we do that, we'll do a little bit of pranayamic breathing. We'll do some alternate nostril breathing, as well as some couple of body breaths. I'll be going over those shortly. But just a little quick getting to know me. I look forward to getting to know you as well. One more breath in. And one more breath out. Again, lean your elbows, your shoulders over your wrists. Jump or float to the top of your mat. Then forward fold, Uttanasana. And then inhale, come all the way back up. And hands down into Samasthiti. Stay here for just a minute. Feeling like the warrior that you are. Chest out, hands down your sides, closing your eyes if you feel comfortable with that. Remember to keep your shoulders as far away from your ears as is comfortable. And whenever you're on your feet, try to think of your feet as having 4 quadrants. And all of those quadrants are being used at the same time. So that if somebody came over and unfortunately gave you a little nudge, you would still be standing straight because you're using all of your feet. Same goes for your hands too when you're in plank, for instance. Using as much of the hands as you can gains stability. Okay, so from here we're going to do a quick vinyasa going into, we'll go through the warriors and then continue on to triangle pose from there, Trikonasana. Okay, so inhale, raise your hands up to the ceiling, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming halfway up. Exhale as you jump, step to the back of your mat, lowering down into Chaturanga Dandasana, coming up into upward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, looking up. Exhale as you roll your feet, coming into what you're very familiar with after this now, the downward dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Stay here for 3 more breaths. It's amazing how much more comfortable it is after doing it several times in a row. Our bodies learn from repetition. Our minds are only made up of our memories, most recent, the clearest in our minds. And whenever you're able to do something, your mind realizes you can do it. It makes it so much easier the next time. Near the end of class, we were doing some really challenging poses. And only on the last day, when I realized I could do them, was I able to do them. And once I could, of course there was many I could not still, but work in progress. But the ones I could do, all of a sudden became quite easy. Easier, I should say. Eventually, I'll be even more flexible. That is one of my goals. Okay, so now we're going to go into Warrior A. So from here, I'm going to have you turn your left heel and put your right foot to the front of the mat. Inhale as you come up into Warrior A. Again, knee over your ankle, looking up towards your palms, which are facing each other. Back leg straight. And then we're going to go into Warrior B. We're going to do this a couple times. So now you're just going to really lean into the stretch. Really make it as far of a lunge as you can. So if it is comfortable, you can move your left foot back slightly, making sure to keep the back leg straight, gazing out over your fingertips, over the middle finger. And then we're going to come back up into Warrior A. And then back into Warrior B. Really stretch fingertips as far away from each other as possible, all in a straight line. When you're in Warrior B, it's important to have your chest as much as you can with the long side of your mat, and regulating your breath. We'll do that one more time. Now coming back into Warrior A, and then back into Warrior B. Okay, now we're going to switch sides. So we're going to then put our hands down on the ground, step back, lower down into Chaturanga, and up into Upward Facing Dog, of course inhaling, because we're gazing up, and we are looking up. And then exhale into Downward Dog. Now we're going to turn our right foot. Now you'll get to see me a little better. Putting your left foot between your fingers, and then coming up into Warrior A. Looking up at the fingers, and then down into Warrior B. Now you want to keep, again, your fingers in a straight line, arms basically parallel to the ground, knee over your left knee over your left foot, and looking out over your left fingertips. Then we're going to come back up into Warrior A, looking up. And now we just turn our hips and our chest facing forward, and then we turn the hips sideways as well as our chest, trying to fit into a little narrow of a space as possible. I'm going to do this 2 more times. Inhale, coming back up, Warrior A, and then back into Warrior B. Really just feel yourself floating in there. Excellent. So from here, we're going to step to the front of the mat, come into Samastiti, and I'm going to have you step back and feet parallel to the mat right here. We are then going to turn our right foot to the back of our mat. We are keeping our legs straight, knees not locked, but close, and keeping our hands out to the side. We are then going to slowly put your right hand down your leg, the left going straight up, exhaling because we're going down, and keeping your chest as much as you can tucked in. You're going to keep going down. If you're able to put your hand on the mat, that's great. If it's on the ankle, that's wonderful as well. So lots of options, whatever's comfortable for you. We're going to be doing this again, so just feel whatever's right for you at this moment. And if you're able to, gaze up at your left fingertips, keeping your left shoulder pressed to the back, your right shoulder pressed to the front. And as always, in through the nose and out through the nose. And we're going to inhale as we come back up, turn our right foot back. We're going to then rotate the left, and we'll complete this on the other side. So we're going to put our left on our knee, the left hand on the knee, slide down as we go into whatever is comfortable for you at this moment. And then if you can, you're going to be gazing up to your right fingertips, keeping your chest in. Try to make it so you're as narrow of a space as you can, right like this, as if there was a plexiglass on both sides, and you're just trying to squeeze right in there. You're going to keep both palms facing the same direction. And again, you're gonna try to rotate the shoulders to get you inside that little space. So your right shoulder is going back and your left shoulder is going forward. It's a wonderful stretch. Excellent. And now as we come back up, and then we're gonna turn the right foot, and we're going to exhale as we bend the right leg, coming into 90 degree, stepping back just a little bit. We're gonna start by putting our right elbow on our right knee, and then putting our left hand far over the side. And then you're going to be putting your right hand down on the ground if this is comfortable for you. Up here is perfectly great, of course, as well. So I am feeling good enough to do this today. Not every day, but today is a good day. And gazing out towards the fingers, we're gonna stay here for 3 more breaths. It's always a little challenging for me in this position. Remember, deep breaths in, and even a longer breath out if possible. Keep yourself in as straight of a line as you can, keeping the chest in. This is the chest out. That's what we're not trying to do. We're trying to keep it up like this. And exhale. And excellent. Now look down as you come back up. We're going to do the other side. Hands out to the side. Turn the left foot. Bend the left knee. And we're going to come down. Elbow on the left knee. And looking out towards the right fingertips. And if you can, you're going to put your left fingertips on the ground. For those more flexible than me, you can always go even all the way down. But it's important to keep a good posture. While I can put my hand on the ground, I don't keep the form that I'm looking for. So maybe tomorrow that'll be right for me, but right now my fingertips on the ground are perfect. Stay here, knee over the ankle, gazing up at the fingertips, keeping the right shoulder as far back as is comfortable. Stay here for 1 more breath. Inhale, and exhale. Rise back up. Wonderful. Now we're going to come to the front of our mat. Namaste. Now from here, we're going to go to the floor and try a couple different poses. So at first, we're going to do a vinyasa to get there. So we're going to inhale as we come up to the ceiling, and exhale as forward fold. Inhale halfway up, and then exhale as we come back. And we're going to stay here in the plank for just a moment here. Plank is a really wonderful overall body workout. When you're doing this, it's important to keep as flat of a back as you can, keeping the abs engaged. And that is an important factor in much of yoga, keeping the abs engaged. Because even that by itself is a wonderful exercise. Try to keep the shoulders over the elbows, something I need to keep telling myself as well. Keeping the legs straight, keeping the butt not up in the air. Perfect. Now, if you feel comfortable with this, what I'm going to have you do is we're going to come into pigeon pose. So I'm going to have you put your right elbow, your right knee with your right wrist, and your left foot, your right foot with your left wrist. As much as possible, you want to keep this in a straight line, and you want to be sitting back on your left foot with the toes gently behind. If this is where you're comfortable today, then this is a great place to be. Otherwise, you're going to exhale as you come down onto forearms, or perhaps with your forehead on the mat. We're going to stay here for 3 breaths. Really, as you inhale, feel that stretch. And as you exhale, try to go deeper into there.
Keeping the hips in line with the mat. Keeping the weight all on different points, not focusing. And remember, this is not a place for pain. Yoga is never a place for that. One more breath in. And one more breath out.
And as you inhale, slowly come up onto your wrists, onto your hands. And now we're going to switch. So you're going to come back into tabletop for just a moment. And then exhale as you put your left foot, your left knee with your left wrist, your left foot with your right wrist, and then slowly sink into it. Not sure I really see how this is exactly a pigeon, but if you do, let me know. Again, if you're feeling comfortable, come down onto your forearms or all the way down onto your forehead on the mat if this is comfortable for you. And exhale. Especially when in poses, regulating the breath is so important. But even if you're waiting in line at the bank, in the taxi, or just watching television, always good to try to keep that breath regulated. In through the nose, out through the nose. I hear a little bit of crackling. I apologize about that. There's some noises still around here. Okay, inhale as we come back up to the forearms. And now we're going to go into tabletop. So we are now going to lift up into downward dog. A lot of this is impromptu, just going through some of the different poses, just trying to give a brief introduction to some different focuses. Now, what I'm going to have you do is you're going to inhale as you look up, and then you're going to jump and place both of your feet onto the outside of your hands, and you're going to come into a yogic squat. And then with your hands like that, you'll be in a yogic squat. Hands into prayer position. While you are here, you're going to push your knees, give you a better angle, pushing on your knees, and staying here for a moment. Excellent. Now from here, going to have you place your hands on the mat. You're going to bend your elbows slightly down so that you can tuck them under your knees. And as much as is comfortable for you, this might be great as it is. But if you are comfortable, then you're going to slowly lift your feet off the mat. Stay here for a couple breaths. And then back down. Let's try that again. Really keeping the core tight, making sure the elbows are under the knees. Especially when I was in Bali in Indonesia, I would have to put a towel here because it was quite a bit different as far as the amount of sweat that was being produced during a yogic workout. And coming back up. Stay here for a couple breaths. And then back down. Okay. So one of the things that I was excited about with the certification class was learning to do about headstands. So I'm going to teach you what I learned and see how it works for you. So back in the tabletop for a moment. Sit back down. One of the things to do to start is you put your hands like this because you're trying to get a base to start. And then when you come back up, that's about how much of an angle you would like. So you start here on the mat, then you put your hands up, and then you're going to make a bridge, basically, a little yarmulke, if you will, for the top of your head. And when you're here, you're not putting more than 10 to 20% of the weight on your head. It's all forearms and a lot of core. Everything is core in this world. So you're going to place your head down and you're going to lift your legs up, almost into dolphin pose. We'll do dolphin pose another day. But while you're here, you're going to slowly step forward. Interlocking the fingers, slowly step forward. And then when you feel comfortable, using as much abs as you can, you're going to lift and come into a handstand. Headstand, sorry. Keeping the feet together. Knowing that if you do go down, rolling not onto your back is definitely optimal. That is not comfortable for me when I do it. You're going to stay here, feet together is even better. And we'll try to stay here a few more seconds. Another video I will do where we focus on doing leg splits, both front and back, and also side to side. Also, the last pose I was able to do is getting into lotus in this position, which I will show as another time too. But for that, it takes a lot of leg stretching first. So it'll be the peak pose for a leg stretching video. Now when you go down, I want you to try to go down as slowly as you can. All abs as much as you can. Slowly, and then step down onto the feet. Then with the red head, come back up. Excellent job. Okay. So from here, I would like you to go back to the tabletop, and then I'm going to have you go back up into downward facing dog. Excellent. Stay here for a breath. Okay. Now, coming your elbows, your shoulders over your wrists, you are going to then jump your feet all the way through into Dandasana. So you're going to slightly fold your legs as you come through, and then sit back down. That was a challenge to do at the beginning. So I'll do a class where I go over more details with that. But for here, for Dandasana, you will keep your hands underneath your shoulders, pressing your shoulders away from your ears, your feet, your toes up to the sky, abs engaged, like I said usually are. Excellent, and relax. Now we're gonna come up into boat pose. So you're going to lift your feet, keeping them straight, and your hands straight as well. Now if this is not comfortable, you can always bend them slightly, or you can extend them out. There's going into higher boat, lower boat, all of that working different parts of the abs. We'll stay here for a moment. And exhale. Come down, cross your legs. Inhale as you rise up for 3 seconds. And then exhale. We're going to do that 2 more times. Not always the favorite pose, but wonderful for the abs, and of course for the back as well. Even engaging the legs and the arms, it's really an overall body workout. One more breath, and exhale. Fold your legs, crisscross, coming up, 1, 2, 3, and back down last time, I promise. I'm going to raise up the legs, raise up the hands. I focus on the breath when I get into a pose a few times that feels challenging. I just think about like the ocean, the waves coming in, just breathing in and exhale. 1 more in, 1 more out. 1 more rise up, promise that's it. 1, 2, 3, excellent. Okay. So before we go into everyone's favorite pose, Savasana, let's do a little bit of pranayamic breathing. So get into a comfortable position. Some it's just seated like this, where you put the left foot in first and then the right, keeping the toes along the legs as much as possible. Sometimes starting with the right foot, a single half lotus position, or you can do the full lotus, whatever is comfortable for you today. So to begin with here, we will begin with some Kapalabhati breaths. So for that, I'm going to give you an example of that, and then I'll have you follow along. And we're going to start with 20, and then we'll do 20 again. So just warm and getting you into it. So for that, you are going to inhale with your hands on your knees, keeping your back up straight. Everything else kind of melting away, but your back is straight. You are a beacon going from the sun all the way down to the Mother Earth, feeling your sit bones on the earth as much as possible, keeping the knees on the ground. You're going to inhale fully through the nose, hold it for a moment, and then you're going to exhale completely. Then when you've exhaled completely, then what I'm going to have you do is very short, powerful breaths with the exhale. So you have the exhale, and then it's going to sound like this, again through the nose. And you can really feel the contraction in the stomach while you're doing this. Really wonderful in many ways. I'll be doing full meditation videos, and I'll go over some of the benefits of this at that time. But for now, we're going to do that 20 times. And then once we do 20, we'll inhale completely and exhale completely, always through the nose. We're going to do the full inhale and exhale 3 times, and then the Kapalabhati another 20 times. So inhale completely, let's begin. Eyes closed if possible. And exhale completely. Now we're going to begin. I'm going to be, I'll let you know when we finish. 1, now. Now exhale completely. Now inhale completely. Hold it at the top. Now we're going to begin again. So you're going to exhale completely. And begin another 20. I'll let you know when we're finished. Begin. Full exhale. Full inhale. And full exhale. Full inhale. And full exhale. Now we're going to do a little bit of alternate nostril breathing. So for that, you're going to keep these 2 fingers together, a little bit like Star Trek, and then your thumb separate. Looking at with your right hand, you are going to be opening and closing your left nostril with your thumb, and you're going to be closing your left nostril with your pinky and ring finger. You can place these on your third eye if you would prefer. For this, you completely inhale through the left, and then you're going to exhale through the right, and then inhale through the right, and then you switch. Only after each inhale do you switch. Always through the nose, and I'll be guiding, so I'll be talking through the beginning here. So let's get the hand position correctly. So you're going to be inhaling through the left to start with. So first we're going to do a complete inhale and exhale. And exhale. Closing the right nostril. Inhale through the left. Now switch the hand and cover the left. And now exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. And because we just inhaled, we switch and go to the left. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left, which is the feminine energy. And now we switch to the right, the male energy. Exhale. sun and the moon. Inhale through the right. And exhale through the left. We're going to do this 10 more breaths on both sides. So you do it at your own pace. I will let you know when we are finished. Remember to always switch after the inhale. Keep the back straight. And if your arm gets too tired, you can always switch hands if necessary, but just don't switch the sides that you're breathing. This is one of those practices that is recommended every day for everybody. And I'll have a whole class just going over the benefits, the history of, really why it's so good to start your day, finish your day, or maybe a little bit of both. Even just after a strenuous workout, for instance. Few more breaths. Really proud of everybody. Excellent job out there. Last breath both sides. And then when we finish the right side going in, then we exhale through the left to close out the circle. So everybody do a full exhale and inhale on the left. Repeat on the right. Exhale. Inhale. And then we're going to complete it by an exhale through the left. Now place both hands on the knees. We're just going to do 3 breaths in and out. See if you feel a difference in the energy. Excellent. So now we're going to work doing a 10-minute meditation while in Savasana. Savasana is also called Shavasana. It's the corpse pose. So as the name suggests, and as you'll see in, I think, every yoga class that I have seen, is the final posture. So we're going to get into a comfortable position. If you'd like to use a bolster, if you would like to use a blanket, whatever is good for you is perfect for this. So you're going to lie back on your back, your legs straight, slightly askew, your palms facing up, and it can even be outside of the mat slightly. Once you are feeling in a comfortable position with your hips on the ground, with your shoulders comfortably on the ground, inhaling in fully, and exhaling through the nose. Slowly close your eyes. Just coming to practice is the hardest part. Once you are here, that's the reward. And now that you've finished, this is where you get to relax into the mat. So I'm just going to slowly do a deep relaxation technique we work slowly up the body, and so you can just slowly feel all of your body relaxing. Keeping your eyes closed, just slowly listen to me. If you fade off a little bit, that is perfectly wonderful. Keeping the breath slowly going in through the nose, holding it slightly at the top, and slowly exhaling. Being so grateful for the breath that you do have, for the ease of the breath, for the comfort that you are feeling lying down after several poses. Other classes will be either more challenging or perhaps very soothing. I'll try to give you a nice spectrum of possible classes. And any suggestions anybody has, feel free. Our body is our house. Now we're going to slowly relax all of the parts of the house. We're going to start with our toes, feeling all of your toes. You're going to relax them, feeling all of the energy, all of the stress, all of the standing that you did, just melting away from all of the toes. Now feel the soles of your feet, the tops of your feet, just relaxing, just melting into the mat. Your feet have never been more relaxed. Your ankles relaxing, no tension at all. Your shin, both shins and your both calves, just seeming to drip into the mat. No reason to keep them up. They're just becoming one with Mother Earth. Your knees, no tension, no strain. You were so careful with your knees today. They're so grateful. They're so comfortable. Your thighs and your quads doing all that work, keeping you standing and all that work. They're so grateful right now to just be relaxing, melting. Any tension that was there is just dripping away, just loosening all up. Your hips and your buttocks. So relaxed. Your pelvic. Your belly button. Your lower abs. Your middle abs. Your upper abs. So relaxed. You are just one with the mat right now. Your sternum. And also while the abs, your back is slowly relaxing as you work up from your lower back. Any tension you had there before is non-existent. And lower your middle back. Shoulder blades, and your upper back, your chest that does so much all day, all relaxing. Then working on your hands, going to work our way up, starting at the middle finger, slowly spreading to the other fingers as you work your way up ever so slowly. You just feel them relaxing. Palms of your hands, the backs of your hands, the ones you know oh so well. Your wrists, your forearms. You couldn't lift them if you wanted right now. They're so relaxed. Your elbows, your biceps, your triceps. So calm, so tranquil. It's like a lake where there's no wind, completely peaceful. Not a single ripple. And your breath is so comfortable. Slowly going in, holding it slightly, and then slowly letting it out. Even longer breath out than when you were breathing in. Hold it slightly at the end. I picture almost a square going up one side, along the top as you hold it, and then going down as you exhale. And then you complete the square as you hold it at the one. Continuing up, let's relax our neck. Our neck has so much going on. Perhaps it was tension earlier, but there's definitely none now. Relaxing our ears, our chin, back of our head, our nostrils, our cheeks, our eyes and our eyelids. Don't forget our mouths, our teeth, our tongue, and back to our forehead, our scalp, our hair, and now our whole body, internally, externally, just completely relaxed. Slowing our heartbeat down, lowering our blood pressure. When you're in Savasana, there is no appointments later, there are no lunches to attend, there's no traffic waiting, there's just you, your calmness, your serenity, and your gratitude for being able to be here. A little respite from the day. And you're always allowed to return here anytime you need. Now slowly come back. You're going to wiggle your fingers and toes. You're going to stretch your fingertips, and your toes are going to be as far away as they can from each other, like a cat stretching. And you're going to roll slowly onto your right side, keeping your eyes closed, using your right arm as a pillow. When you're comfortable, you're going to come back up in the seated position, keeping your eyes closed. Whatever comfortable position is good for you, crossing your legs, half or full lotus. And you'll bring your palms touching each other at your heart center. Prayer pose. Inhale deeply through the nose. And exhale through the nose. We're going to chant Om 5 times, followed by Shanti 3 times. Om was the first sound ever uttered in the universe. And a good friend of mine taught me that you don't even need to use your tongue when saying Om. And the correct pronunciation is actually 3 syllables. It starts with A, O, M. Altogether it's Aum. So we're going to do that for 5 times, followed by Shanti. And I will go over Shanti and some other mantras in later episodes. So we are going to inhale deeply. And let's begin. to your fingertips. Feeling so grateful, so happy, so excited for this moment and every moment, and know that you are your best and that you are trying your best, and that just being in this world, everybody is better. You exude happiness, warmth, love, and you are going to continue this throughout the day and every day. Namaste. So slowly open your eyes. Thank you for joining me today. If you liked what you saw, make sure to subscribe down below, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Namaste. Thank you.